So you can also like right click in here, add Quixel content. This is where you can get loads of different things for building environments and whatnot. It looks like they might have updated and gotten some more ones, which is exciting. Yeah, they got all kinds of stuff in here. Most of this is familiar to me. Japanese tropical jungle is new, though. It looks very nice, very cool. Yeah, lots of stuff in here, industrial kind of environments, lots of props and stuff. I like going to either the essentials or to environment and then going to natural. You've got so many options for cool things you can build. So I might say that I want like a sherry shrublands or something, and let's see. Like we can just download this big sandstone terrain. Maybe that could be like the base of my environment or whatever. Make something cool like that. And maybe get like a mountain or something. We'll export that because I've already got it. I'm doing this before I render just so you can kind of see some of the potential of doing stuff quickly with Unreal. I'm going to try and work pretty fast with this because, you know, can't waste too much time on it. And usually like these massive terrains right here are great for like distant landscapes and things. They're not going to be super high res up close, but like the mountains are going to be great to break up the horizon line, and then we'll go in where our car is and fill in some of the spaces with more detailed stuff from over in these other models right here to make it work faster and look better up close. And then we can have something cool to export. But yeah, so we got one of those. Let's export this one. Yep. Loading Nanite and Quixel Bridge stuff for the first time usually takes a bit because I haven't opened it in a bit, and plus I've got a billion things downloading at the same time. I know I'm so great at exaggerating things when I speak. But yeah, looks like these have started exporting to the 3D assets section, so we got like this big sandstone chunk that you can just like bring in and, you know, place however you want or whatever. But we're not gonna do that just yet. We want to get like this one in there. We want to get this one in there. And these bigger terrains will take a bit to import. Let's get that one in there. Yeah, see how we got like this cool open area. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll just like place the car like kind of, maybe, kind of liking this idea. Again, we'll obviously want to build out that area. The other thought is, what does this one look like? I like this one more than the other one. So we'll just spread this one off into the distance. Just kind of do some quick adjustments. Yeah. I can hold Alt and drag and it will duplicate it or rotate, whichever one you want, just so that I can like make this terrain area much bigger. Alrighty, yeah, now we got kind of the basis for this. That sure will need our floor. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start bringing these other things in. And we've already got a nice horizon line over there, but we might want some nice ground terrain pieces. So yeah, let's find some of these rocky ground. Cool. Good. Now we can like throw one of these in here. That's huge. Like now we've got like a nice cliff with, we can make some nice leading lines here. Yeah, it's starting to get a nice little terrain out here. It wraps around nicely. We can can say, let's just sort by static mesh so we can see what we got here. We can import that one. And let's see what else. Maybe throw one of these over here. Yeah, right now my goal is just to get a good combo of different ground areas here. Yeah, there we go. Now we got some more variety for the ground here. Hopefully this all kind of makes sense. I'm not sure how long this has been running. Let's check the time. 16 minutes or something? Okay, that's probably not too boring to watch, and you can speed this up or something if it's really that boring. Alright, you've probably seen enough of that now. Make sure some things blend nice. Yeah. Now we've got ourselves a little environment. So now if we want to just render that, we can just come up here. Well, actually, let's see, is there any bushes we want? Yeah, I think they're... Let's kind of get rid of some of those closer. Alright, yeah, let's just call that a good session. Let's just select everything here. Man, what is going on? Just rotate it. So we can just get a little bit better of a view of the car sideways when it's centered in that valley area. Nicely done. Look at that. We've got a friggin' cool design here. Nice. And do a quick render session. So I'm going to click down here, Cinematics, Cinematic Camera Actor, and I'm going to right click on it and pilot it. And now I have full control. So let's say, what does 50 look like? 50 gives us a nice, like 35. So you can do a lot of different selections. I like wider camera angles for things like this, plus it's going to hide some of this kind of stuff that we're... Yeah. Yeah. Okay, enough of that. We really gotta render this car if we're gonna render it. So the way that I like to get really nice camera stuff is there's a lot of different modes, film backs and whatnot. Now I'm thinking this is a landscape, so let's go cinematic. So I'm gonna go IMAX 70, which is usually like this. Then I can add the lens settings a squeeze factor of 2, and it gives us an anamorphic camera that we can work with. And then we can set this to like 75, and that gives us a fairly, 100. Yeah, that's pretty solid. 100's pretty good. And then we'll just change that to like 1.2. And then it's like, this is where your settings are. It's like if you go to the focus settings and turn on your focus plane, you can see where your focus is going to be at. That helps a ton. Like if we make sure I have the 21 or 21:9 aspect ratio cut, then we're looking pretty darn cool, like this. So I'm going to group these in a folder. Right click, move to create. Land. Cool. Landscape. Cool. Then we're just going to delete the lighting tab. Actually, never mind. We're going to take these and throw them into it. Same with the cinema camera actor. Floor is hidden, but we'll put it into landscape even though, actually we'll just delete the floor. We don't need the floor anymore. Player start, we don't really need that either. And then post-process volume we'll throw into lighting as well. So now we have our folders built out. Looks nice. And we have our scene pretty well blocked out. We can decide what kind of camera motion we want to do. We could do like a pan that like rotates down. We could do like a rotate, tracks around the side of the car. It does like something nice and close. And I'm really thinking like maybe like 135 is the, yeah, that seems pretty nice. Pretty nice. And then, like once you've got your camera all lined up and nice looking, and again, like you could just run with the standard lens settings and not have a crop. Whoa. And then we gotta take off our stretch. So like there's like your, like that could actually be a really darn cool shot. Let's see what that looks like. See where our focus plane is, like right on the front. That, yeah, that could be cool. Yeah, mix that background up or something. Anyways, I think I liked what I had with that wide shot. So I'm going to go back, just Control Z until I get it. Yeah, I really like this. Oh, yes, I'm showing there. There we go. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah. Keep doing adjustments. We got to stop doing that. We can get like a really cool. Yeah, like this could be our panning shot. Then it like wipes to new. Yeah, that's cool. So I'm just gonna play off of that. So if I come into my sequencer, I can hit Control S, and some of these are just somehow randomly hopped in here. I don't know why or how, but probably some accidental key I clicked. We're just gonna like frame it like that. I'm gonna bring in my camera actor. I'm just gonna drag it into here, and then you see your scene. And then from here, like we can animate our timeline. I'm gonna set this to 24 frames a second. I'm gonna just give us like 240 frames, which is 10 seconds. And then I'm gonna just make this like 60. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna be really lazy and click transform, and then just pan out like this. See what it looks like. This comes out, yeah, it's like right there. Let's reset that keyframe, and let's just have this pan out like this. Yeah, nice. Oh no. Now we gotta go to the end frame. That would be smart, wouldn't it? Pan out down like that. It's looking pretty cool. And let's see what that looks like. Really fast, so we'll say make that 120. We can just drag these out to extend them. And then we're gonna drag and select over those, right click, and make them linear. This is like a whole animation tutorial here. It's like the scene building. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I think we could just cut. We could probably start here. Yeah, coming out like that. I want it to be even slower. Let's drag that out. Yeah, that's nice. And like 100. Let's add a camera cut there. I'm just going to Control C V up here and drag the next camera in. And then I'm going to redrag it in over here, take up the next section. So then, you just make sure you click on this camera right here. This is camera 2, and we can select something to look at differently. Then we can pull our manual focus bar, like right there. And I'm just going to tell it to say keyframe. I'm going to make sure that keyframe is lined up at the beginning of the cut. And then, clap stick. And then we're just going to, like, I don't know, go to 168. Just pan across like this or something. Like kind of zoom out. Maybe this one we want like a 150. No, like a 300. That looks like it'll be cool. Ooh. There you go, that's the motion right there that we want. Start like right here. Click transform. Set keyframe there. And then we can say, oops, we're holding the wrong gosh dang thing. Make sure you got the right camera clicked. There we go. And we'll make sure that that is selected. Hi, babe. There's Rachel. Yep. I'm recording a thing, but you're good.
Okay, well, yeah.
Okay, I'm almost done. Cool. And then we can just set up to the end of that frame and just pan the camera this way. Let's say boom, boom. And we'll just set those to linear. Linear means that it is stable and constant. This is a long recording, I apologize. Control Shift S a couple times. We can duplicate this again, Control C V. Oh. And drag this down here, and drag it up here to that next spot we want to cut to. And then we will pilot that one. I want this one again to be like 135. This one up here, the camera cuts lets you see your edit. I want to edit camera actor to a little bit more like that. Here we go. Camera actor 3. So we'll just come down here, make sure it's the last keyframe spot. Then we will do both the focus and whatnot. We'll see our focus plane so we can line it up with the car. Cool. And I'm going to just make that one linear. I'm just going to go to the end of the sequence and push in. This is what we have so far. And what if we just added another 5 seconds to it? It's going to be 360, I think. Yep. So much freedom. I'm just going to collapse all these actors we're not using. We're not looking at this exact moment. And then, make sure we're piloting camera 4. And then let's just set this transform to linear again. But then on our last frame, which I'm thinking I just want to drop down like this and center it right nice in that valley. Then do that. Spicy. Let's turn off camera 3's focus plane. Keep this one on so we can see it. Push it forward a bit, yeah, that's cool. And there you have it, there's animation. And if we just change this last one to cubic auto, then it will kind of slow down at the end and settle. Yeah, perfect. If we see the whole edit, back here, play. Real nice, real nice. And the only thing I'm concerned about is the glass materials that we used might be odd, so I'm going to fix those really quick. Make them two-sided. And we're going to say render translucency path before depth of field. And that should hopefully make sure that they render in the depth of field. Now, Control-Shift-S should have a solid animation here. I'm just going to do r.temporal 8a samples space 0. This makes the depth of field nicer. R.texture streaming 0 makes textures go further for me. And r.shadow distance scale 0 enter. And like if we look at the path tracing, we get even nicer than it already is, but it's pretty darn close. So, yep, we could see, if we're curious enough to see the difference, path tracing versus lit. But it's always a little bit darker when it becomes process volume. And we say screen space or standard alone. It might be closer. Kinda. I'm liking what Lumen's giving me more, so we're going to stick with Lumen. Cool. Alrighty, now let's see if raster versus ray tracing looks better. Ray tracing looks better, but I like the reflections better on the other one, so we're just going to use the other one. So, cool. Alright, perfect, that's for sure. But, pretty cool animation there. Alrighty, now we're going to go into the rendering stuff, so I'm going to stop. Start. Okay, now it's time to render. I made a sequence. You'll be like, wow, what the heck, you went all out? I'll be like, yep, I was just bored and did it, even though I should have been working. It's fine. We're going to click the movie render queue, and then select our thing, and then I can send this to you. And I just need to adjust this to 1608 so that it fits the same aspect ratio that we're rendering at. We had this set to the one folder, so I'm going to just select in-car help, saved, right-click, new, movies, Shift-N, sequence 1. Cool, now I can save it there. AXR, default rendering, anti-aliasing with an 8, and no overrid anti-aliasing method of none. Color output, disable tone curve, and then a bunch of these. I'm going to add r.shadow distance scale. Cool. Output should be cool. These all look good. Accept. And then you just hit render local, but first we're going to hit Control-Shift-S. And then render local, it's going to compile a couple of shaders. And from there, you should be able to go. Alrighty, now it should start rendering after it's done compiling those, and you'll see that this looks sweet already. And the image that you see in the render preview is going to look blown out and a little bit odd with the colors. Don't be afraid, that's just normal because of the EXR color space. Once we throw it into DaVinci Resolve or Premiere, it will look a lot better. So, no worries there, but you can see that it's rendering pretty darn quick, and like 5-minute render time, pretty reasonable. Rendering, so we're going to then find it in our files. So you would go to wherever you saved those animation files. So in here, this is where they are, and this is kind of what they'll look like. That's a viewer that I have, but basically what we'll do is we'll open DaVinci Resolve, and I'll show you how I import them and do color space transform as well to make sure they look real good. Yeah, so that's all you need here. If you were to do Apple ProRes, then when you export here, just delete this, and instead add in an Apple ProRes, and then I would just select like Apple ProRes 422, and then click accept, and you'd be ready to roll, and you'd get an Apple ProRes 12-bit, and that'd be pretty cool too. So we're going to open up here, and we're going to go to the Edit tab, and then I just drag in my sequence. That shows up as footage, just like that. And you can see again, it looks like real rough and stuff. So I usually do a color transform up here, and I'm going to make sure that this is set to the 4K resolution we need. Color management, so I change my color science to ACES CCT, and then I do a color input transform from linear out to Rec 709. And when I click save, then that usually gets me to where I want it to be. And then you can just hit play, and it is 4K footage, and I've got other things open, so that's probably why it's a little bit slow. But looks pretty cool. Pretty slick. And then I just, go to the export or do color grading. I might do a quick grade if it feels good. I didn't realize I let it sit there for a bit. But yeah, we're going to do a quick color grade. So I want to kind of just bring up some of those highlights, crunch some of the darks, very subtle. And then like in here I could totally like the car color, but I'm not going to. Let's see what else can we do to increase the realism. Well, we can have film grain. I want to see more of that. Maybe we can get like one of these. We'll stick to this one. So let's do. You could do like a glow. It's not going to be super great though. I don't like the glow in here. But like halation could be kind of interesting. Very, very, very subtle is what you would need it to be. Is very, very subtle. Give you more subtle than that, like 99. And then turn that strength way down. And then make a new node. And then I'm just gonna like do some film grain in a bit. Yeah, maybe some camera shake would be nice. And then I'm also thinking like a slight blur. So I'm gonna do a radial blur because this is like anamorphic footage. And I really like what that can do to how the footage looks. It just gives it an extra distortion. Actually, let's just do a distortion. Lens distortion. You know what, let's not even do it with this one. We will just do film grain here. Texture is real small. Don't want too big a texture. You make it real fine. And then, yeah. Really soft light it so it's mostly in the darks. Yeah, let's soft light it and then a little more intense. This seems nice. Cool. Track through some of that. We got some real nice looking stuff. Yeah. And then, let's actually add a slight blur before that, so. And it won't be radial. It's just slight lens blur. Like the most subtle of subtle. Just to make it look more real. Because nothing is perfect. Well, like 0.2. Yeah, like you can barely see it. Let's do one. Maybe 1.1. Yeah, that looks good. And we'll come back to the edit thing and I'll select this and I'll give it some. Very slight. Yeah. And occasionally you get like those flickery things. That's usually when your stuff is too shiny. We might be able to take care of that a little bit with like some temporal stuff better. Yeah, I'm gonna call that good. I'll just do like my daily folder here. Make a new one, shipman underscore 09 underscore 08 underscore 2023. And then call it car animation. Run on. Alrighty. Custom, sounds good, and render queue, render all. Almost there. All done. Now we can play back. Oh, Windows. Looks pretty darn good, huh?